comes to investing in the Nigerian real estate market, I find out that a lot of investors, especially fresh investors who are just coming into this market, they do not understand how the system and the processes work. Hence, they keep asking the question, so how does it work? How am I supposed to do? If I want to buy a land, if I want to buy a house, how do I go about it? This is a question I get almost all the time ever since I've been in this business. And hence why it is important to discuss it in full today. So if you want to really understand the processes of acquiring land and houses in Lagos, in Nigeria as a whole, then you will have to watch this video to the very end. Hello. So yes, it's either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Welcome today to another episode of Tea Talk with Goodness Usman. Yes, it's been a while, and I'm super excited to bring this very interesting, informative, detailed episode to you guys. You know how we do it right on this show. Just before I go right into the talk of today, I need you to go grab a cup of tea, just like I have my here, green tea as usual, or you go get your glass of water, a glass of wine, juice, whichever one just works for you right now. So hey, grab it and let's have this conversation. And it's okay if you're fasting right now, please don't even bother to grab any cup of anything. Just watch the video to the end. Anyways, as usual, I'll just sip before we go into the talk of the day. Are you guys excited? Because I am. Whew. All right, so speaking about new investors coming into the Nigerian real estate market, oftentimes they don't understand the processes, they don't know how it works. So every time it is important, it is my job, it is required of me to keep educating both old and new investors in this market. So in today's talk, I will be walking you through the processes of acquiring a land and house, what you have to do, at what time, and at which stage in the course of the transaction, or let's even say in the last lifespan of a transaction. Yes, I know, yes, every transaction has a lifespan, and because of real estate transactions, the lifespans are usually a bit longer depending on what kind of house or land you're buying into. So yes, the very first step I'm going to talk about is the one that some investors do not want to hear. They frown at it. Some frown at it, not all, just very small. But I still have to talk about it anyway because it's very important. I feel when you're coming into the real estate market, the first thing you should do is to get yourself a realtor. Okay? If you have the opportunity to meet a seasoned professional, detailed realtor like me, whoa, you are just, I think every other thing is sorted. Well, it's the truth. Yes, I have quite a number of colleagues who are professionals like me, and then they know their game in this business, and we keep improving on our game. So because the truth is, when it comes to real estate market in this Lagos especially, you really cannot know it all. You keep improving every day, which is one of the things I do. So I feel like a seasoned and professional realtor should always work on ourselves. Every time you're improving, you're studying the market, you're doing market analysis, you're trying to understand what is happening, you're trying to have projections, understanding where the market is going, where is this market going to be going in another 3 to 4 to 5 years, 10 years. All of that is what I believe, among other things, comprises of a seasoned and professional realtor. So yes, the first very thing you should do as an investor in this market is to work with a realtor, especially this market that we belong. It is important that you work with a realtor. In fact, most especially for Nigerians in diaspora, you're not in the country, you don't live here, so it will not be too easy for you to walk through all of that. You need somebody like me to take the stress off you. I mean, bring the stress, let me put it on my shoulder, and then help you carry it all through the journey of your investment, right? Is that okay? All right, so I think this is the very first time I'm a bit detailed about this very first process of working with a realtor. Now, I mentioned that is a lot of times some people don't want to work with a realtor because they feel it's a waste of time. So feel like I've heard stuff like, okay, so why will I work with a realtor when I can easily just walk up to the company and do my thing myself? Oh, I purchase all my property by myself. Well, it's okay if you have the strength, you have the energy, you have the time to do all of that. But I mean, it will make more sense for you to work with a realtor because yes, online you have thousands, tons of what's it called now, of information, right, that you can just do your research yourself. But trust me when I tell you, you need somebody that is stationed here, that is living here like me, that knows this thing day to day. This is what we do day to day. This is not what you do. This is what we do. It's like going to a doctor or going to your lawyer. It's what they do. Even if you go to read all of the articles on law and all of that online, you still will not know the nitty-gritty. There are some things, there are some source you will not know when it comes to law, when it comes to medicine, okay? So stop diagnosing yourself online when it comes to real estate investment. Honestly, I mean, we do it a lot of the times. You have a headache, you just go, what could be the cause of my headache? Oh, they say it's so people have killed themselves by that process. So if you know that it is wrong for you to go do a self-diagnose and not properly go see a doctor, consult a doctor, then why is it that when you are ready to buy land or houses, invest in real estate, then it's a problem for you? You that is a problem. I'm not talking about people who is not a problem. They already know how it works. It now becomes a problem for you to run a realtor. In fact, I found that laughable for some set of people who are based abroad, who know that they can't do anything abroad without a realtor, right? A lot of the times you can't. And then they now come here and then want to now form this bond, if I'm allowed to use that word, and then want to now do their things themselves. A lot of the times too, you will still do mistakes. Yeah, you might have done some few transactions without a realtor, and then everything is fine. Yeah. At the moment, everything is fine. See, let me tell you guys something. Land transaction, real estate transactions in Lagos can be very funny. Even when everything is fine at the first instance, at the first stage or second stage of the transaction, something can happen in between down the line, and then you have a realtor to help you through it all. Yes. And like I said, my job as a realtor goes beyond me coming to market a property to you. Now that's just the first step. Me coming to okay, so I really don't do marketing exactly. I consult. So I love it when I have more of investors working with me. So they consult with me on most of the properties they want to buy anywhere in Nigeria. Because we talk about as a Nigerian, I don't have the expertise yet. I'm trying to go into the Dubai market, but I'm yet to really get my hands fully. I'm yet to fully understand it. Okay, but I have partners there. I was just looking at the market and all of that. So yes, in Nigerian markets. So when you consult with me, my first job for you is to consult with you. Understand what you want to achieve from the market, understand your purpose, understand your goal. You're not just buying for buying's sake. Is it that you're buying for investment? A lot of the times, yes, we come to you and advise you to buy for investment purposes. Certain areas are majorly for investment purposes. But then when you're buying a house, which house do you need? Do you understand why you need a house? It's the job of you working this through. You work this through with your realtor. The truth is, it's even too stressful a process for you to go alone. It is way easier when you have a realtor by your side taking you through the journey, and then you guys have this numerous conversation, analysis, and then you can eventually make the right decision for you. Because the truth is, the best thing is for you as an investor to make the best decision so far. I mean, there can be a market crash somewhere, there can be a distress sale and then your realtor is just going to come and tell you, oh, there's this success story, would you want to, because he had over time worked with you, understand your kind of person, understand what you're out there looking for in the market. See, the truth is, these markets, these downtown markets, investments and all of that, land banking options, it seems that people just feel they don't have to work with the realtor. But in the real other part of the real estate, the commercial, the other part of it, you really have to work with the realtor, because you have to understand so many things. And then assessing the owner of the property, negotiation. See, a realtor also, a professional realtor also have negotiation skills. It is very, very important. I'm not kidding about that. Fine, let's leave the way, the kind of market we have right now. Sometimes negotiations don't really happen, except if you're buying a bulk buyer, you need so. But sometimes also negotiations happen, but not necessarily on prices. It's not just on prices where your realtor has to do negotiations for you. Maybe you need some certain things. Maybe maybe you have even bought into the property, and now down the line you can't even go further with the property. You need more time. This is where your realtor is going to come in. You're going to discuss with your realtor, and then the realtor just mediate the whole process and go back to the company, ask for more time for you. When it comes to allocation, she takes he or she, comes in and swing into action for you. You might have anything you need from the company that probably you do not have a very solid relationship with them, but this realtor over the years has been dealing with this company A or B or C, and because of that relationship, they can leverage on relationship and help you get what you want. The list is endless. Why the benefits of having a realtor? There is no disadvantage to having a realtor, because a lot of the time you are not even paying the realtor. So why would you find it difficult to even have a realtor in the first place? Are you paying? You're not paying, even though it is wrong. I feel that is the part of this business that I feel it is not professional. Fine, I get the other details, I get the other part, which is fine, but really, if you're going to buy a house in Ikoyi now, and I'm going to get the house for you, you're going to pay. And the buyer pays, the seller pays. That is the way it works all over the world. And then the sides of the realtors now depend on which side of the realtor you are. If you are from the side of the buyer, those are even details that are meant for we realtors. But that is just by the wayside. All right, so I hope I've been able to show you the reason why you should work with the realtor. So my first process is to try to identify which realtor you want to work with. I mean, while you're online researching, you're checking out stuff, you should look at 2, 3, 4 realtors you have come across, the one you feel is a professional, the one you feel that, okay, this person knows their onions, he or she knows his onions fair, he or she knows the game well, you think this person is truthful, you think, okay, I can resonate, I think I can work with this person, because a lot of the time, so it also requires if you can work with the person, if the person is likable to you. I mean, you can't work with somebody you really do not like their style, or you don't like the way they do their things. You have to be able to like the person. The person must appear likable to you, and then that way it can be easy for you to work and then work with the person for a longer period of time. Because I mean, it doesn't even make sense when you already you have something off with it, and then you're like, let me share. There's no let me share. It's your investment, it's your real estate portfolio. So I think you have to work with someone you think is likable. That's the first thing. I mean, somebody, because that's how it will flow. And when we have a flow with the person, the professionalism is key. The professional angle of the person is key. How versed is this person? I'm not saying that the realtor that just entered the business might not be is a bad idea, but I mean, yeah, at some point I was a learner and I just got into the business. I was learning, and over the years, all the things that I've learned had made me who I am right now, and made me, have some set of values, and made me make some decisions that I cannot touch some kind of properties because of where I am coming from. So yes, again, you should choose to work with a professional and seasoned realtor, because professionalism is one thing, seasoned is another thing. I can be very professional and I'm not seasoned. I don't know what is happening just in my backyard. I don't know what is happening right on my nose. If I in real estate, a seasoned realtor is a professional realtor. You're not seasoned, you don't know. You find some I find it difficult to comprehend, when you find some realtors who don't even, I mean, they sell some certain kind of property, they probably don't have even been to that property. They just use other people's video, and then maybe the company's video, they've not been there, they don't go there, they don't know anything around the place. How can such a person make the best decision for you? Because you must know the environment, you know what is surrounding the place. You must have, okay, well, maybe I'm too detailed. Anyway, so, okay, let me leave this step. Now, when you choose a realtor and you're not having a realtor you're working with, of course, when you're working with me, I tell you one thing. I ask you one question. What do you intend to achieve with this? If it's for investment purpose, are you buying the house to invest? Are you buying the land to invest? Are you buying the land for somewhere you want to build? How long do you intend to start building? Are you going to wait for 2 years? Are you looking for someone for 3 years? Okay, so what's the house type you want? You know, those questions. But if you come to me and then you also just saw my post on the property and you're like, okay, I like it, we still do the analysis. Sometimes I've seen people who call me on certain properties and they end up buying another property because after the conversation, we both now realize that that is not working for what they want. That will not serve the purpose of what they are out for, which is one of the reasons that makes me make me a professional and seasoned realtor in this business. By the way, I'm still learning, hey, I still have a lot of things to learn, and I'm very intentional about unlearning. I'm not just learning, I'm unlearning as well, okay? Because I mean, there's so much. The market is vast, and Lagos State can be a bit tricky. So I can't come here and tell you guys I know everything. Everything can. No, oh God, there's still quite a lot of things that I need to know. In fact, I think this year I learned something very, 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 very critical and key. And I'm like, oh my word, oh wow, if I tell you guys will not believe it. Anyway, so that's just to prove my point that I'm still learning and I'm unlearning. I'm very intentional about growth, about mastering my game every day. So it's not me sitting there and telling you I am master of it or master of what. I have not mastered anything. I'm just trying every day to be better. So it's like today I want to be better than yesterday, and like that, etc. So that's where I live my life across board. Anyway, so yes, back to the second step. So when you now agree on the kind of property, after having this consultation with your realtor, you now agree on the kind of property you want to buy, the next move will now be to get your documentation right. So when you decide on the property you want to buy, you will definitely decide on the payment plan, if you're going for an outright or you're going for instrumental. Now, when you have decided that, there is a document to be filled. So almost all the companies has subscription form, almost all. But for some part of property, especially houses, even some land, they first issue you offer letter. So your realtor send an email making your intention known to the company selling the property, maybe land or houses, depending for those who do offer letter. Now, especially for houses, you send your details, your name, your address, majorly name, address, and email to your realtor, and your realtor takes it to the company and tell them what exactly, specifically what you want to buy, and then they give you an offer. So it is in that offer that you will now accept, and your realtor, you accept it via your realtor, and then I take it back to the company, and then we now get a subscription form. Now, when they are sending you that offer letter, some company will send you a subscription form along the line, some don't. Okay, so when you're sending back your offer, then you can now fill your subscription form, which is just about data page, and then fill your data, and then the process starts from there, and it comes alongside with your evidence of payment. Now, in the offer letter, they will tell you their condition. If they accept you to pay for a certain period of time, they will put all of the details into that offer letter, and if it works for you, you go ahead with it. If it does not work for you, well, if you can still negotiate for houses, you can, but if you cannot, you just have to move on to the next one. Now, for lands, majority of these lands, especially these lands of these companies that we sell in this network in this part of the market that I am, they don't really do offer letter. What you do is you send this, your realtor will send your subscription form to you. You will fill the subscription form, scan it back to your realtor, alongside in the forms, they always have the account details there, and then you pay your initial deposit and send it back to your realtor. Now the job, when you send it back to me, my job is to now go to the company, send it to go and file it with the company. They do payment confirmation, and then the process is open a file for you and then reserve. So yes, your initial deposit is usually your reservation. It helps you earn a reservation. Not that some people tell you, how some people come and say, let's goodness, please, so let it not increase. Tell them I need 2 plots. I just laugh. I cannot tell anything. No, word of mouth. Do you know how many people will tell me they need 10 plots? Word of mouth does not do anything. I mean, mouth does not make any reservation. It's your initial deposit that makes that reservation. So 1 second, guys. All right, so it's your initial deposit that. So after that, the company will confirm when they have opened the file for you. They will now via email send you the e-copy of, please listen to this now, receipt, contract of sale, and invoice. Receipt, contract of sale, and invoice. For some companies, they do letter of acknowledgement. Okay, so they send you these documents by email. Your realtor follows up with them, and then when you receive it by your email, they will now read through the contract of sale, sign your portion if everything is okay, if you're okay with all of the terms and conditions. Please, I always advise that you read that contract of sale. A lot of people don't read that contract of sale. It is at the In fact, some people don't even read the form. They don't read the FAQ, the frequently asked question form. Apart from the subscription form, there's an frequently asked question. Some people don't read it. They don't read. There are some clauses in some form that some people don't read. They just fill the form, and go. It is when you are asking for a refund or when there's an issue, that's when you now realize that, oh, you didn't read it. Please, the contract of sale, make it a point of duty to read it. If they send it to you today and you don't have the time to read it, don't worry, take your time, bro. You are not rushing to Russia. Read it. Please read it. If you don't understand, call the attention of your realtor. Okay, I have been, see, my clients, they read it, yo. I keep saying it is important you read it. I keep saying it. Have you read it? Please read and sign. If there's somewhere you don't understand, you can, ask for more clarification. What does that really mean in real time? Because some of these times can be very confusing, to be honest. So there's no shame in saying, ask him, I don't understand this. What does this really mean? Because I mean, some of these clauses I read it and it can mean like 3 things to me, even as goodness. So even me, I ask, I'm like, what does this mean really? So please read it. When you read it and you're okay with it, you sign it and send it back, scan and send it back. Now, that is when I will now help you go and pick up your document and then send it to you, especially if you're in Nigeria. But if you're in Nigeria in diaspora, I'll just keep it in my office. When you're in town, I will connect with you and give them to you. Then when I used to go to UK frequently, I pack, I just have this. Sometimes I have to reduce my bag, my clothing, just because I want to take a bulky. I always having bulky documents to take along, and then when I get to London, I now have to go to the mail and then mail it to everybody's address. Sometimes when I'm in town, I have to hand deliver it. But of course, a lot of the time I can't go everywhere. I can literally just go to major places, maybe Liverpool, Manchester. I think I went to Portsmouth. I went to I've been to some places. It's interesting. I go to deliver I go that far to deliver document then, and it made me know quite a few places in UK. So yes. Don't worry. This year, hopefully you guys will see me in UK. Did I just say that? Yeah. You guys ready? See me in UK. I've told some of you that I will be coming to your houses, so don't worry. I'm gonna show you your house by knocking your door like this. Hello, goodness is here. Open your door. It will really be nice, and I'm looking forward to it. God spares us. Yes, UK. It's about time. I think that's UK. last year and 2 years ago. So yeah, it's about time that we'll go and say, yo, so hello, intro. Okay, so yeah, that's just by the way. So, but yeah, now the way it works is I keep the document. I have a lot of my clients' document. I pick up. So I recently realized that so many realtors, and I'm not joking, so many realtors don't even bother about clients' documents, whether they sent the receipts to them. I've heard so many stories of how they don't get their receipt at all. Once they just pay and send the evidence of payment to the realtor, that's it. They don't follow up on the receipt or document or anything. It's the client that will be chasing the company. I'm like, okay, that's a different one for me, because since I started this job, it's always has been my responsibility. I made it my responsibility to ensure that your receipt is sent to you. I have to chase them, because a lot of why I do the chasing is not because the companies are just lying around for them to be chased. No, please don't get that wrong. It's because as much as I have quite some number of clients, other realtors are there, so they have each day they're preparing documents over and over. So you have to keep doing the chasing so that I make sure that my clients get their own as fast as they can get it. Okay, so all the companies that I sell for, I call on my client's document. Please, where's the document? Please, so remember, I need the receipt, I need the invoice. So, and that's what I do every time. It's not the first time. When you get your contract of sale, and I make sure that you get your contract of sale, your first receipt and invoice, that's not it. When you're making your next payment, I make sure that you get your invoice. That's my job. All of you that you have worked with me, you already know. Yes, sometimes they might see, if you guys see the number of chasing, the way I chase them sometimes, it's a sweet work I want to do, because I just want to ensure that you get your documents, because I mean those are the things that is banding you and the company. So I find it very odd when I hear even some realtors that we know, some realtors out there that you think they should do this and they don't do it, and I'm like, well, that's the way they choose to do their business. But for me, I feel it is my responsibility. So if other realtors feel it's not their responsibility, well, anyways, that's it. So yes, when you now get your document, like I said, you sign your copy and send it back to them. So if it's a one-time transaction, that's it. You move to the next level. The next level is paying for the other documents, other fees. Now, if that's not the next level, if you're an instrumental, when you keep paying every month, you keep sending your evidence of payment to your realtor do the needful with the company and make sure that they send you your receipts until the day you're done paying. So now, fast forward, you're done paying for the land or the house. What's the next thing? There are other fees involved. You pay for the other fees, survey, deed of assignment, and then you get your when you pay, you send it to your realtor again, and then you get your receipt, and then you move to the next level. So you see why you need a realtor. At every stage, you must be in communicator with your realtor. You are communicating with your realtor. Okay, I'm done now. What's the next thing? Your realtor will guide you and ask the company, where's your allocation? And then when it's ready for allocation, you can even chase for allocation. You can have a plan with your realtor. Oh, I'll be in the country at this time. Can they do it? Can they not do it? Oh, can we have an exception? I've done so many allocations that are not general allocation. You just like, my client is coming in, please. So you have to put some strings. Help me. Is it workable? And then you can just meet in between. It's not all the times that I put strings that I get my way anyway. But you just have to try and do what you can do at a time. And then when you get allocation, you are not in the country. I've lost count of how many of my clients that I represent during physical allocations. I've actually lost count. Some, even when they are present, I try to attend most of the allocation, even though I can't be everywhere at the same time. That's true, because some allocation will just, there were times that the allocation would just fall. One allocation, what the company will just fix the same day. And I'm like, how do I do this? You have to juggle with your team member. Okay, you come here, appear here, quickly, sharp, all of those things. But I try as much as well. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of work that I intend to keep doing. So I represent more. If I show you guys the survey, the deed of assignment, original service and deed of assignment of my clients, in fact, in the last 2 years that I have them in a safe box in my office, where it's sealed. Nobody has the keys, just me. Because these are people's documents. The only original. I don't want to hear story. It's locked. The surveys, I can even have the receipt and contract of sale survey. You see that survey I did is locked. It's locked in a safe box. I mean, it is people's original document. So that's how far I go. I represent my clients. When they are in this country, I go and show them their plot. I do videos, send it to them, and then the lifespan of that particular transaction is over. Yes, for houses, some private houses, because it's some companies don't allow you only come and represent and take key for your clients. They say no, the client's family. So you can go with the client's family member, or the client family member at that point now goes and then take care. But you just make sure that everything is fine. Ensure that they've gotten the key. Is okay. Is the bathroom okay? Is the that okay? Is the this okay? You know, even none of the off-plan houses, I do follow up. I check up. It's a lot of work, like I said. I'm not perfect all the time, you know, but then I am there. I am there all the way. Even if I'm not around, I am there on phone. So that is, you see the function of a realtor. When we started from the beginning to almost to the end, the realtor should be there from the beginning of the transaction to the end. Even if in between the line or along the way there's probably a misunderstanding or miscommunication, you should always try and see how to, you know, mend things and just keep working with your realtor. I don't have the culture of abandoning people. Even there are some companies that I've sold for in years that I decided personally that I'm not going to touch their properties going forward until I'm able to see some significant changes in the mode of operation. And I'm not joking. I mean that's my personal decision. But the ones I've sold, they have to deliver on them. And when they beckon on me, when the client says so, I still go back there and do what I have to do and then move on. I try as much as I can. I don't abandon clients no matter the resolution. I even see clients who I take on board and the transactions they've done somewhere else, I have to still try to represent them, even though you guys understand it. So that is the process where you've done your allocation both for the land and the house and the circle of that transaction. Hence, I mean, they have to deliver the key to your house, give you the document, give you, if it's a land, after the allocation has been done, if it's a land that you intend building, like places like Isheri North now, it's a buy and build, right? So they allocate your survey is ready, you pick up your survey and your deed, then you now have to, when you're moving to site, I try to even be involved when you're moving to site, because if you want to get a permit, what if you go into the company and then I'm not sure there's an issue, but just to understand that you're okay, you started building, nothing is happening to you, you have paid your developmental fee. It is also important to carry along your realtor. You never can tell when you're building a house where you will need the help of the realtor. The realtor that is seasoned and professional like me, if you work with a realtor like me, it is advisable you carry me along all the time. So that, because just in case there's be a time you would need the realtor you want to leverage on the realtor. So I believe that's the whole process of acquiring properties in Nigeria. Now, there's this process I didn't talk about first because I used realtor, you working with the realtor first. Now, conducting search is also very important. It's not like I forgot, no. I was going to talk about it last. When you're going to buy a property, it is very important that you conduct a search. Now, it is also very important that you conduct the search rightly. Now, working with a realtor, a lot of the times on some of these properties, we already have, like I said, a seasoned realtor. Is that you already know the history of the place, or you're aware based on one, you know how you carry out one transaction and the information of the many other transactions, you just have the information. So when the property now comes up, there are properties now that are not yet in the market that Goodness Usman I already know about. Due to one search or the other we have done, and some you now realize, oh, so there's a scheme somewhere, this scheme is coming out, and before you know it, it will come out. Just like where you have Gracias Idera scheme, where you have Gracias Moganite. I've known about that scheme way before they brought it into the market. I've known way that there's a scheme there, it's coming, blah, blah, blah. There are so many schemes along that where we have you-to-know residents that is coming up. Do you understand? So, except when you have situations like that, you're working with a seasoned realtor, she already knows some things like, oh, the person knows this. So there's not really too much need to now go and do one search, or there's a search report already, or sometimes when you see a document, you know that, okay, when you go through the document, you know that, okay, this. The truth is, even C of O can be fake. I hope you guys have heard about it. Yes. This is not to cause fear for anybody, but it is important as much as you can, if you can carry your search, on the property, or just work with a seasoned realtor that you know that, okay, they have all of the details. Ask all the details from that realtor. You see, searching to confirm the title document of a land is as important as also knowing the history of the location. I'll take that again. When you go, well, it's one thing to search on the title of the land and say, okay, is this C of O, C of O, is it a government allocated land, or is it excision, is this gazette, is gazette? And then trying to also find out about, that's where what lawyers do primarily. They want to know the area, the history of that area, the neighborhood, what happened, what transpired, what happened, who owned it before the government came to take it, who owned it, who is not owning it, is it this family that owned it? So sometimes that's one of the things we do, moving around, just, sitting. Sometimes I just drive around, sitting with the neighbor in the neighborhood, just have conversation with the ones that you think they don't matter. They will tell you the real thing you want to hear. So having the information of that environment a lot of the time helps us to make good information. So yes, please note, search is very, very key. Conducting search is very, very key. And because the way we work in this part of town, we always have this, I always have this personal search a lot of the times. And then I always, apart from even the personal search, because of some of these properties that I stick to a lot of the time now, I have the history. Like I've told you, that I have so many government schemes that I know that are coming up, that I also have personally, I've done it. I know that some companies have bought. They've not even tell us they want to sell it to, but me, I know that they bought it. They are in the process of buying. You just have some people in an house that just give this very, very key information. And at the end of the day, when they now bring it out, you know that, oh, okay, this out. So really, what's search again? Something that I already know about and I know is genuine. When they bring it out, there's no need for any further. So when people now go and come and do their search and say some other things and just look at them, but then it's okay if you want to double confirm. And that's why it's okay that you also work with somebody you can trust. Okay, because also in that search, I think I've done a lot of video around that. When some lawyers go and do some search, the lawyer that is not lawyer is lawyer Kowiregbe. If you are working with a lawyer, please make sure that your lawyer is versed in land property. Because sometimes you see some corporate lawyers coming to do real estate. They're not a real estate lawyer. It's just like if you want to have an entertainment lawyer. You guys know I'm a filmmaker. My entertainment lawyer is different from my real estate lawyer. Exactly. Because we all have, it's like doctors, they have specifications. A general doctor is different from a surgeon. Even as a surgeon self, you have areas. The one that deal with the heart, the one that deal with the brain, the one that deal with what do they call it now? Maybe the tummy cannot deal with the heart. There are reasons why they are professionals, so they should have specification. You can't be Bogbero lawyer. You have to be, a vast lawyer in real estate if you have to carry out the lawyer, especially if you're not even buying from this net, or you're buying the house as well. You have to carry out research, understand the title on the land, see the C of O and all of that. All right, so that's what I'm going to be using to wrap this Tea Talk with Goodness Usman today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this show. Thank you for taking your time to watch to the very end. I hope I didn't miss any process. No, I didn't. That's it. That's how it works, basically. And then it just differs a bit depending on the company, depending on what and where. There will be small different laws from each real estate company. But basically, the journey so far, the processes, that's basically how it works for most of these properties and land that we sell in this part of town. I don't know about any other part of town. All right, thank you so much once again for watching this show with me. I really hope this is impactful. I hope this had values to you. I hope this helps you make the right real estate, further makes the right real estate investment decision, and also make you that you're yet to work with me. I hope this will make you choose me to work with you. All right, I'll see you guys on the next episode, or when you give me a call or in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and of course share this video with your circle. You will be doing them a huge favor. And also turn on your notification button. Thank you so much. Don't forget to remain blessed and awesome. Please scratch that. All right, please remain blessed and awesome until next time when I come your way or when you give me a call, because I'm actually waiting for your call. Let's discuss your next investment or your new investment. If you're a new investor in the game, I will be honored to walk the journey with you. And for those that are already working the journey with me, I will be honored to still keep working the journey with you on your next investment. Until then, again, remain safe and awesome, just the way you are. So right now, I have to go. I say to you, oh, double.